January 3rd, 2017 meeting of the Long Hill Zoning Board of Adjustment is called to order at 8:07 p.m. Notice of tonight's meeting was emailed to the Echo Sentinel and Courier News, was posted at Town Hall and filed with the municipal clerk on January 7th, 2016. Please turn off all cell phones and pagers, any electronic equipment as it interferes with taping mechanism. And please rise and join me in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have oaths of office to administer to reappointed members. Jerry Aronio, who is not here for the record, Brian Johnson, Jeff Wills, and newly appointed member Tom Grosskopf.
Okay.
If you could
guys want to
join
go
me.
over there?
Also,
Jeff's not here.
Jeff's not here right now. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. Left hand on the right. I, state your name,
I, Brian Johnson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all of the duties of the office of Zoning Board of Adjustment member
perform all of the duties of the office of Zoning Board of Adjustment member,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. No, I'll get them back. Okay, I'll call the roll. Mr. Chairman, when you're ready?
I'm not the chairman yet.
Sorry.
Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it.
Mr. Correct.
Here.
Mr. Aronio is absent. Yes, Mr.
Absent.
Aronio is absent for the record. Mr. Keegan,
Here.
Mr. O'Mullen,
Here.
Mr. Pesci,
Here.
Mr. Sims is absent for the record. Mr. Wills, also absent for the record. Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. Grosskopf,
Here.
Mr. O'Brien,
Present.
Mr. Bernstein,
Present.
and Mr. Levitch for Mr. Lemanowitz.
Present.
Okay. We have a quorum. Proceed with opening the floor to nominations for a member chairman for the year 2017.
I'd like to nominate Ed Direct for the position of chairman.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Pesci, was that a second?
Yes.
From you? May I have a motion? I'm sorry. Any other nominations? Can I have a motion to close nominations?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? I'm
Need a
sorry.
voice? Vote or-
Vote.
Motion to elect Mr. Correct as chairman.
We do it just a voice vote? Aye.
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 All in favor? None opposed? Okay. No further nominations. Single ballots cast, and Mr. Greck is designated chairman.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Probably live to regret it, but... All right. Now, I have the distinct honor of moving into nomination for the position of vice chairman, the distinguished Michael Pesci. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any other nominations?
Brian, second.
Thank you, Ed, for those insincere words.
Oh, I meant every word of it. What else do you think? I suckered you into the...
Voice vote?
Well, I'll move the nominations be closed.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed?
Very- Congratulations, Mike.
Mike, you're moving up in the world.
Yeah. Make sure you mention that at work when you get a raise.
Or a deduction when I tell them I'm busy every other Tuesday night.
There you go. Yeah, we'll dock your pay.
You're a harpy away now, Mike.
Be away.
All right, the Planning and Zoning Coordinator will prepare the annual report on variances heard by the Zoning Board as required by NJSA 40:55D-70.1. Copies of the report and resolution, when adopted by the Board of Adjustment, shall be forwarded to the Township Committee and Planning Board. All right, number 9, Planning and Zoning Coordinator's appointment. I'm going to read it the way it's written and ask if there's any changes or amendments, and then we can vote on it. Be it resolved by the Zoning Board of Adjustment of Long Hill Township that Nancy Prost is appointed the Planning and Zoning Coordinator of the Zoning Board of Adjustment until the organizational meeting of January 9, 2018. The Planning and Zoning Coordinator will hold office hours at Town Hall, 915 Valley Road, Gillette, New Jersey, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Wednesdays, 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., and Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., period. Do I have someone to move that, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, before you move that, one correction.
Oh, there's a correction?
The reorg date was changed
Oh, that's right.
on the back page, so just changing this date to January 2nd.
Second, okay.
To correspond with our date.
January 9th is actually January 2nd.
Yes.
I have a proposed amendment to items 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's the appointment resolutions for the Planning and Zoning Coordinator, the Board Attorney, the Board Planner, and Engineer. And that is this. The Board rules and procedures contemplate that each of those positions be subject to an annual review. And it was the board's intention, as stated at our last meeting, that we complete that review process for all 4 of those positions before the end of the year. And unfortunately, that hasn't happened. And so I think that's an important process. And so with respect to each of those 4 positions, what I would suggest we do is make the appointment in each of those cases through the February 7th meeting. And between now and February 7th, complete those reviews for each of those 4 positions, and then come back on the 7th and revisit appointments for each of those 4 positions. I think that would serve the intention of our rules and the intention of the board before our year-end meeting.
And as I spoke with Dan Bernstein, that comports with what other boards have done in the past. It's not unusual.
Not necessarily this
Right.
community, but in other boards, that procedure was followed.
Okay, because I mean, unfortunately, with the onset of the holidays and just the outgoing chairman, it just was never done, and I think it's not fair to the people that serve the board not to give them the encouragement of a review, and then and then gloss over that. I don't think that's would be fair for them either, because I think they look forward to hearing what we think, and usually it's pretty good. So. We'll see. But no, I don't have anything contemplated that's bad. But anyway, With that in mind, we have to do each one separately. So the first one is number 9. Do I hear a motion to adopt the amendment?
Do we have an application on the 17th?
On the 7th, you mean?
17th of January.
So I do not think so.
I
Do
mean-
we have one? No.
No,
No.
we won't have one at this point.
So
No.
should we conduct the reviews and then just do?
Yeah, but I want to give us enough time to do it. That's kind of jamming it up there because of people's schedules and everything and people being able to meet. I don't want to...
No. What I mean is, since we're not going to meet on the 17th, should we just do the appointments?
We
on
could do that
February
date. That's a good idea. We could actually do them all then. We could go through them on that date because we don't have anyone, we don't have an application, so we can actually...
I'm confused.
We can actually do the reviews on the 17th.
No. The appointments on the 17th.
No, that would assume that we could get the reviews done between now.
No, wait, sorry. We don't have a meeting on the 17th.
Right.
My suggestion is, rather than doing a one-month appointment, we just do the full appointment on February 7th, assuming that the reviews are being completed.
Yeah, but we have to say something now. We can't just leave it unappointed. We have to
Okay.
actually carry the appointment for the year until the 7th, so that way,
Okay.
whether we do them or not, we're going to act on the 7th, because we can't forestall people's appointment. But I have an intention that the board will move swiftly and do this now that the new year started, and we have some new people on the board, and we can get things moving.
And as a point of information, Mr. Chairman, without appointments, none of your board staff are authorized to do any work.
Okay.
So if an
Yeah.
application comes in, we have to do checklist reviews or technical reviews. We have no authority to do
Right.
that.
Okay.
So we're giving the authority for the month, and then we're going to do the reviews, and then formally do everything in February. So that way, we're not ignoring our time-honored procedures that were just instituted not that long ago, but they're still time-honored. All right, do I hear an amendment, do I hear a second to that amendment for paragraph 9?
Second.
All right, can we have a voice vote?
Can we clarify the motion, please?
Oh, it's to appoint all the people, but we're doing them one at a time.
Okay.
For the 1-month period to February 7th, with the intent to have the reviews done within that time, and then on February 7th, we'll come and formally do the appointments.
Okay. And you're moving that motion, Mr. Chairman?
Well, I'm moving it, yes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Any opposed? Oh, we got to do a voice vote. Okay.
Maybe that would be a roll.
Roll call vote. I'm sorry. Roll call vote.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Pesci?
Yes.
Mr. O'Mullin?
Yes.
Mr. Keegan?
Yes.
And Chairman Correct.
Yes. Okay. Now, number 10, attorney's appointment. Are we making the same motion for that one?
I would move this, make the same changes.
Okay.
To the extent that we need to follow the language in the clauses here.
Okay.
I think it would require an amendment in paragraph 1,
Okay.
which sets the professional services, the term of the professional services contract would be through February 7th, during which time the performance review would be completed, and
Right.
the board would take up the appointment on February 7th for
Okay.
an extended period. And then in 2A, the term of the contract would be January 1st through February 7th, subject to further extension at the February 7th meeting.
Okay. Very good. Do I hear a second for that?
Second.
Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Grosskopf?
Aye.
Mr. Wills? I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Pesci?
Yes.
Mr. O'Mullin?
Yes.
Mr. Keegan?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman Correct.
Yes. Okay. Now, the planning consultant's appointment, what is that? Requires professional planning services. Oh, that's the plan. Okay, so now we're going to the planner. Do we have the same, what would you outline and move the amendments for that paragraph?
So I would have the same corrections, the same amendments, paragraph 11, as in 10. I think,
So there'll be 11.1 and 11.2A?
right, in 11.1, we would be saying, is hereby authorized for the period January 1, 2017 through February 7, 2017, during which period the performance review shall be completed, and the board shall take up further appointment at the February 7th regular meeting.
Okay.
And then in 2A, we would change the term to be January 1, 2017 through February 7th, 2017, subject to further extension at the February 7, 2017 meeting.
Fine. Do I hear a second for that?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote?
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Pesci?
Yes.
Mr. O'Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Keegan?
Yes.
Chairman Grant?
Yes. Okay, now the next one would
If I
be...
may, Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to thank the board. It has been a pleasure working with you in the past, and I look forward to a very productive year in the future, particularly now with a passing of the torch. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. It's not going to be easy because no one. I'd just like to say that Chairman Bear's efforts often went unappreciated and undervalued because he was a tremendous influence and a tremendous positive force on this board, and his ideas were very well spoken, and a lot of good changes got made to our procedures, and we had rules. It's going to be a big shoe to fill. So. But thank you. All right, number 12.
Same a proposed amendment with respect to the engineer's appointment. So again, in 12.1, we would be extending or clarifying the period of authorization from January 1, 2017 through February 7, 2017, during which period the performance review should be completed and the board shall take up further appointment at the February 7, 2017 regular meeting. And then in 2A, the term would be clarified from a period not to exceed 12 months to the period January 1, 2017 to February 7, 2017, subject to further extension at the February 7, 2017 meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Pesci?
Yes.
Mr. O'Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Keegan?
Yes.
Chairman Grant?
Yes. Okay. Now,
If I can say something,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the firm and Tom Lemanowitz, I would like to thank you for the appointment.
oh, you're
We're
welcome.
going to continue to do the good work we've always done.
We always appreciate your firm's work. And, it's whether it be Tom or someone substituting for him, it's always been quality, so.
Feel free to tell Tom that
Yeah.
if he'd come, we would have appointed him for a full year.
Yeah, no. No. Don't even say that in jest. No. We just want to make sure, we instituted these procedures
We all got punched.
to do reviews about 2 years ago. And we feel it's very important to sit down with our experts and our staff, because if you don't sit down with people and discuss what they've done over the year and how things are going, you sometimes lose track of things and you don't move in the right direction. So we don't want to ignore that.
Right.
And it's a very important procedure for any organization to do. So we just want to make sure that it gets done and we don't ignore it. All right, the rest of them, the calendar order of business, number 13, 14, notice of publication, 15 minutes, 16, membership, 17, meeting cutoff, excuse me, 18, meeting executive and regular, 2017 Board of Adjustment calendar, and then the 19, the budget, we will carry that till either the next meeting, whenever we meet next, whether it be the 17th.
February 7th.
Well, probably the 7th, yeah. Unless we, I wanted to talk to you about the 17th. Maybe we could have a little learning session on that day. Has everyone read those paragraphs, 13 through 19?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any changes, amendments to those? We're not going to read them individually? No. Okay. Can I have, we can have just a roll call vote on
Got
those?
budget, so you got to...
Yes.
Need a motion to adopt them all first.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not voting on the budget because it's moved. But we'll do a roll call vote on 13 through 19 because 19 really isn't there yet. So once we get it, we can vote on it formally. Do I hear a second to those paragraphs? Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Pesci?
Yes.
Mr. O'Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Keegan?
Yes.
Chairman Grant?
Yes. All right, well, that pretty much does that. I was thinking, on the 17th, Kevin, are you available?
Yes, sir.
Would Tom, you don't know Tom's schedule, right? It's a normal meeting night, so he should be
We're
available.
supposed to be here.
Yeah, because we have a new member, and we potentially could have another new member by that time. And I know in the past, we've done little self-educational seminars, and I found them to be very helpful, because as opposed to what Tom will find out when he goes to the general one that the state or the county puts on, it's so general, it really doesn't apply to a lot of the stuff we do. In general, it does, but in specific, we have a lot of things in our town that are a little bit strange, a little different, some ordinances that might be a little bit different. Is there any way that maybe we could put on a little bit of a seminar on maybe the fundamentals, what negative, negative criteria, the bulk variances, just a little seminar on that, so that the new member could get acquainted with that, and we don't have him going into his first application cold.
Burden of proof issues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, the general overall fundamentals, so that we all get refreshed, which is always good, and then our newer member, or maybe the newest member we will have next, will have an opportunity to hear it, and not have to wonder what they're talking about, or what the applicant's talking about. Because I know we never did that before Tom got to be chairman. We really never had any in-house training, and I think it's a good idea. And I know we budgeted for that, so it's always good to do it, especially in the beginning of the year. So why don't we plan, if we have no applicants, right, on the 17th, that we know of? Okay. So why don't we plan on meeting here at 8 o'clock for a seminar-type meeting? And you mentioned that to Tom, if you could, Kevin.
I will.
You can, yeah. And then, just, it doesn't have to be detailed, just, it's not a college course, but you know what I mean. Yeah, like you've done in the past.
An overview.
Yeah, an overview, just so that we have, I'm sure the newest member will have questions. I'm sure some of the other people will have questions, because things, you get stale. You don't see an application that's the similar one that you saw before. The applications don't bring up a topic, so it's always nice to go over them. All right, with that said, so why don't you publish the January 17th meeting as a seminar meeting, as a training meeting. So we're going to make sure everybody knows about it, because I'd like all members to be here that are named.
No, the last thing.
I wrote master plan of all the boards.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other business to become before the board that, we don't have any members of the public, so I guess there's no one to speak. I'm going to formally say that, so I'm going to close it to the members of the public.
We do have that vast television audience.
Yes, we do.
One person out there.
Yes.
At least one.
My wife and daughter said they were going to watch me.
Oh, well, now it's three.
Tom is one.
Yes. Tom, yes. He's keeping up on it by watching.
Former chairman is watching this.
Yes, I'm sure he is. But that's why I shut my phone off, so don't call me. But, all right. All right, then, with that said, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Say aye. Aye. All right. We're adjourned at 8:29. 8:30, I'm sorry. That clock's a little off, 8:30.
Another land speed record.
Yeah.
Don't they all just went quickly?
Yes, we should.
So this action,
Yeah, oh, no, it's good.